Welcome to this video where we're going to talk about how to get more customers and clients into your yoga studio. I'm 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞. I'm a creative director, graphic designer, and marketing expert here at the Toronto studio based in Canada. And before we get started, I'd just like to say, it takes a lot of courage to start a business. And it takes real wisdom to acknowledge that you need support or that there's things you don't know about your business in terms of growth, and then go seeking that support online or offline in person. So thank you. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to kind of cover is what is digital marketing, what is building a digital marketing ecosystem around your business, how that can generate sales rather rapidly, and how you can optimize that over a set period of time in order to grow your business. So let's get started. So a lot of the time I had asked, what does digital marketing really mean? It's a fancy buzzword, but what does it really mean in terms of me and my business? And there's a lot of ways I could answer this question. There's a lot of ways I could answer this question, pure and simple. But I think what is going to be most relevant to you and your business is that digital marketing is a way to build trust between you and your potential customer base using online tools to build that trust digitally with your business that later converts into a sale. So, if we're talking broad strokes, social media, websites, video content like this, etc. But like I said, we'll dive deeper into that later on. But the key takeaway and caveat here is it's about building trust. It's an ecosystem of trust that lives online, that builds trust between you and your customer, and then converts into a sale. Okay, so think of it like that rather than, ones and zeros and all this overwhelming stuff, because it's easy, very easy to get overwhelmed once you start breaking down this ecosystem and saying, oh, I need to do all these things in order to get these sales, rather than tackling it at one point at a time and just monitoring the growth. So with all that being said, we're going to go into what a digital ecosystem looks like. I'm bringing up a graph, and we're going to discuss and break it down in simple steps, and then move forward from there, breaking it down into sales funnels, breaking it down into trust building, breaking it down into sales building, okay? See this graph right now, and you'll see that, it says digital branding strategy. Brand is going to play a large portion into building a digital marketing ecosystem, but in the purpose of simplicity, we're just going to go one by one through these steps to not overwhelm you, and we'll just go from there, okay? So the first thing I want us to take a look at is in the center of this graph, you see content, data, and analytics. Now, content can be something as simple as a video or a photo captured on your phone of you teaching a yoga class, of you, talking to your students and getting, video testimonials on your class. It could be, assuming that they're okay with it, screenshots of text messages saying how much they've enjoyed your class, etc., etc. Okay, so that's the easy stuff. You don't need a fancy camera or a video camera to start. This is the easiest way to start, okay? So next you want data, and data is like, spreadsheets or notes of who your best customers are, who are your most repeating customers, what classes are, more filled up than others, what days of the week just seem to deliver the best results, right? And analytics is getting more granular with that data, saying, oh, Thursday is my best class of the week. It's where it's the most filled. The restorative yoga seems to be the best. And therefore, just measuring that. And I noticed that I have a lot of, pregnant moms coming into this class to get some relief for some prenatal yoga that we do, etc. Maybe I should do more prenatal classes, stuff like that. So, right. And that's kind of like how we start. From there, there's a lot of different branches here, but I say the best one to always start off with is a website, because it becomes your information hub. It becomes this collective area of authority online. So that could be letting people know what classes you offer, what types of yoga you teach, letting them know where you're located, having some articles on your site to build more authority, etc., etc., etc. And then from there you have SEO, which is on-site and off-site. On-site being like just well-written content about yoga in your area, a map showing where you are, and off-site is like other people writing blogs about you. But we'll get there. So those are the two places I'd start. From there, then you want to branch into social. And I say start with one social channel first. Don't try to overwhelm yourself going through multiple social channels because you're going to burn yourself out. Start with one, get a relatively decent following on it, because maybe that will be all you need, and then move on to another, right? So what we're doing right now, just to break this down, is you have a website, which is a hub of information. You have SEO, which is directing people to your website to let them know who you are, what your services you offer, your pricing, and where you're located. And then you have social, which is telling a story about your business that allows you to have these people begin to trust you, begin to say, hey, who is this person? What are they offering? Whoa. And they start seeing the content you post. And from there, you start to build a relationship of trust. That trust is backed up by your website, which leads to authority in the space. And it is a meshing relationship. Now, let's keep going. So now you have this social channel. The social channel is telling your story and pulling people in. They're going to your website, after a set period of time. It's not immediate, and it's still not enough. Why is that? So now that you have this social traffic coming to your website, you need to capture them. And to capture them, you're going to need a newsletter, an e-blast, or some sort of service model that says, hey, sign up with me. So this is where email's coming into play in the digital marketing and digital branding stratosphere. So you have this email newsletter that you send out maybe once a week or twice a month, and now they're captured. Now you have their contact info, now you have their email address, you've got them in your hemisphere, and you're engaging with them to build more trust with articles, promotions, and offers through that e-blast, okay? But that's still not enough. So let's go into conversation marketing. And I think this is one that's overlooked a lot in the digital marketing space. I think it's one of those things that are undervalued, is the power of conversation and speaking to people. So this means like building a Facebook community, not necessarily associated with your business. That's just where people can gather and discuss things of like mind. So in this case, yoga. And then you just happen to have, links to your website in this group, It could also be public relations, so looking at trade magazines or local publications in your area and getting, maybe seeing if you can do a guest writing piece with them or something like that. reaching out to influencers, so other people who are in the yoga space who may have, you know, a fairly decent sized following online, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 followers, and just networking, having them, you know, maybe teach a class one day, you teach a class over there, and just building that relationship. And then of course reviews, which is getting those customer reviews saying, you know, this yoga studio is the best in the area. And then word of mouth kind of just spreads from there. So now we have this website that's building authority. We have the SEO, it sends localized traffic to your website. We have social, which is building trust in the local communities and online with your story. And now we have a capturing system, which is email, which is capturing these people to subscribe and sign up so that you can target them later. And now you have conversations going around your business about the services you offer and just being, you know, building more trust there. But it's still not enough. So now you take these emails, you take all this information, and you start making ads, right? And these ads now take a cold audience, a very cold audience, and put them into your warm audience. So it kind of feeds this bubble, right? Feeds this group of people. So it's constantly expanding and constantly growing your online community and growing your business. So that's where it's all starting. Now, where the branding comes in is you have an ideal customer. You have this collective voice circling around your business. You need to identify that voice and use it as a filter so that you are constantly pulling your ideal customer towards your business, because that ideal customer is just going to convert faster, be easier to work with, and make you more money at the end of the day, right? So that's that. So we've covered this. Now we're going to go into what a digital sales funnel looks like after building this ecosystem. Okay, time for another graph. I'm a big graph guy. I find them very useful. So here we go. So this is what a basic social media sales funnel looks like, right? You have level 1, which is the awareness stage. We get them to stop and hear what you're saying, you know, have them look at you, be aware of who you are and what you do. And level 2, we get them to take interest in what you're doing, and we get them to stay a while and listen to your story. Level 3, we have them build desire based around the interest, and have that desire manifest into a want and need that only you can fulfill. And lastly, we have an action / conversion, a sign up, you know, a buy, etc. So these are the 3 stages, but how do you work them through these 3 stages in your ecosystem so that you can start generating more sales? That's a good question, so let's answer it. So the first thing we got to do is make them aware of who you are. And being aware of who you are means that you need to create engaging content. You need to get content that stands out against the sea of noise that is the internet, right? The next stage, after you have that interesting content that identifies what makes you so special and your business so special, in this case yoga, that no other yoga studio can offer, it's about building written content or sharing that story in another deep, meaningful way that garners interest and, into a later sense, desire. And then it's repeating these 3 steps over and over and over again, because this isn't a quick fix, into creating an action or a conversion from that ideal customer. It can take up to a month to get them to buy from you, but if you're filling your community constantly, so let's say every month you fill in 15 new people into this online ecosystem or this online community that you've built through digital marketing, through the steps we discussed. Every 15 months, and at the end of that month they convert into a customer. That means, you know, you are getting 15 new customers every month, right? And as you grow your community, you're getting 15 more and 15 more and 15 more, creating a steady line of income and a steady line of work. So these are what I'd like you to think about when we when we discuss, okay, digital marketing strategy and how it can make you money. It's building this community of customers around your business through online content, website design, and a bunch of other things that just structure your message and your story and builds a brand. Okay? So those are my two graphs. What I would like now to do is, if you have any questions, or you have anything that you feel like I would like more help on or more insight on, please leave a comment or message below. I will be happy to answer it. I will happy to do a separate video on it if need be to help you grow your business. We here at the Toronto studio, we like to think of ourselves as a support system for small business and medium business and large business to help you get to where you want to be and need to be in a volatile market space. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all again in our next video.